Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Hunterman.
Oh, I know. You both got shit to deal with.
This is more Boscar song.
Stonewall shut down. I'm more
And Mal's fighting something.
And Mal's fighting something. Alright, guys, we are on our way to Yuma, which is going to be where I think I'm missing my very last piece of scenic Colorado River spots for being able to get one of the last two achievements. Keeping in mind that the other achievement is just buy a custom paint job. So that'll happen.
Right.
If I manage to get to level 28 before I get there, then I will have the custom paint job before then because I'll just stop and buy a truck, I guess. But
Ready to turn left.
there's no way that light's going to stay green all the way to
Turn
me
left.
getting there. Oh. Okay, it didn't count me as running that red light, so yay. On the road again.
Go straight on.
I think I found my new favorite energy drink.
I've never had an energy drink, I don't think.
Do you like to consume absurd amounts of caffeine pretty much all at once?
I mean, I used to, but it stopped working. So, and now, well, I should say, actually,
taking a long
what
break from
happened
it,
was
then okay,
I
you
absorbed
should-
so many caffeine spirits that I am permanently unable to get to sleep now. So, I guess it actually worked as well as it was supposed to.
Go straight on.
So caffeine has a. It's kind of weird on how it works. You will build a resistance to it. The more you consume, the faster the resistance will occur.
Does downing a cube of Pepsi in under 45 minutes sound like too much?
Define a cube of Pepsi. 'Cause I'm
You've
not
never
sure.
seen a cube of Pepsi?
You mean like a 12-pack?
No, I mean a 24-pack.
Wow. So hang on.
Someone bet me I couldn't do it. That includes, I believe, 3 trips to the bathroom. I think that was ES6? Might have been ES6. A lot of things happen at ES.
Okay, so a regular Pepsi
Which-
Cola has 37.5 grams of milligrams of caffeine. Excuse me.
Go
Oh,
straight on.
a non-sugar Pepsi? Yes. That sounds right.
A normal, regular, everyday in the blue can Pepsi.
In America, yes.
Right.
In other countries, they use sugar.
So that's like 3 of these caffeine drinks.
One
in
one of
caffeine.
them is like... Wait, what?
So
one-
you were definitely consuming a ridiculous amount of both sugar and caffeine, but a lethal dose is about 2,800 milligrams, or roughly 3 times what you
Go
consume.
straight on.
Only
use
3
that for
times? I got a lot closer than I think anyone should then.
I'm just letting you know.
It didn't really stay in
That's-
me,
And that
so...
is based off people's tolerance. But for the sake of your kidneys, I don't recommend doing that again.
Yeah, I think
And
the
for your
frequency at which...
pancreas.
I think the frequency at which I must go to the bathroom nowadays is as a result of that damage from being a teenager.
That'll do it.
I mean, that's what I think. Alright.
Go straight on.
This would normally not be a long trip, but man, there are a lot of stoplights on this road. Also, that stoplight is over not a lane. Wait, what the hell? I just realized those stoplights are wrong. It's a 2-lane road. There's a stoplight to the right of the right lane. There's a stoplight over the right lane.
Go straight
And then
on.
there's a turning lane to the left light over the left lane on a 2-lane road. That's not right. Here, if you're looking at stream, here's another one. There's even a light that's over on the pole, which I've seen before. That's for like traffic if you're coming out, like paying attention to what the other side is doing. But like, they're not aligned correctly. If nothing else, the one that's over the center lane should be with the one over the left lane, because the turning lane is part of the left lane. Is that... I've been all up and down the East Coast. That's how it is over here. Is that not consistent across America, or is that just like... Is that a weird Euro Truck Simulator thing left over?
Go straight on.
How many
I've
states?
been to California, but I've only been to Los Angeles.
Well, I'm in Los Angeles, so it would be relevant. Do they have these weird-ass lights in Los Angeles?
I walked everywhere I went.
Seems legit.
And I was in downtown LA, so it's like 4-way stops everywhere. And lots of traffic lights. But I gotta say that if I were to live anywhere in the United States other than Florida, California
Turn
would
right.
be second only to Hawaii. I've not been to Hawaii. The reason I want to live in Hawaii is because it is in the middle of nowhere, and I can go fish.
I'd be interested in living in Hawaii because it's
So
the
it's
most...
the same temperature.
I was gonna say it's the most diverse state in the Union, which I think is a pretty big deal.
That's cool. I want to
I've
go
lived
fishing.
in Hawaii.
My wife would want to go surfing, but I want to go fishing.
I kind of hate regular fishing. I like video game fishing. I know the mechanics
I
of
am very
fishing, but
the
regular
opposite.
fishing takes way too long. Well, I mean, what are you comparing it to? WoW? That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like, actually good video game fishing.
I've played a couple of video game fishing games, and I'm just I would rather go actually fish, because I usually fish to eat. Like, I eat what I catch usually, so it's always, that's the big delight at the end of it. There's no, I don't want to have to go pick something out and then pick out a video game to go fish for it. That's kind of...
I hear you, but
weird.
I actually don't care for seafood. Though I haven't gotten to try
Fair
pretty
enough.
much
I mean,
any
that's
good
the
sushi
thing.
yet, so...
Well, if we could ever get you down to Florida, I will take you to one of the sushi restaurants out here. We'll
Keep you right outside.
Yeah, well, there's Amura down the road from here. I live like 15 minutes from like all the really nice restaurants too. Amura.
Do you have a Valentino's near you?
Probably. I'm on iDrive. We have we're not on iDrive, near iDrive.
Because Valentino's, I don't remember how many there are, if there's just one, but Valentino's, that's my family. That's conservative part of my family, but Dominic Valentino, he owns a restaurant in Florida, around Orlando, I think?
I see one in Titus, 2 in Titusville, and yeah. It's, pizza?
No, it's Italian, though. Like, it's supposed to be like a nice
Valentino's.
Italian restaurant.
Yeah, I see 2 different ones. One in St. John's Plaza in Titusville, and the other is in the Titusville Mall. So I would imagine that it would be the St. John's Plaza one.
I think it's its own building, but I don't recall that I've ever actually physically been there.
Keep left.
He got us, basically, like, year-round passes to Disney World to go one time. Though we had a lot more fun in, Universal. Universal is where it's at. I went on Back to the Future ride. That was awesome. Terminator ride, that was pretty freaking good. And, because a ride broke down while we were in line for it, they gave everybody one of those, like, turbo passes that let them go to the front of any other line. And I used it to get all of the members of my family in to see the filming of a pilot of a new Nickelodeon show at the time.
That's cool.
Yeah, so Universal Studios is where it's at.
I live
Oh, and I think the slime fountain was
a
working.
mile and a half from Universal. If I go down, when I get out of my neighborhood, if I hang a right at the next light, if I take a left and go about 100 feet down, I can see some of the rides from Universal Studios right there. That's
Finding
like
a new route.
after I get out of my neighborhood, because I have a big
Go
weird
straight
neighborhood. When I get out of the neighborhood, it's like 700 feet. I'm not even kidding. Like I can almost hit Universal with from my house with a rock. Properly calculated, I probably could, but we're not going to get into how I'm going to do that.
Right. I know one of my mom's big experiences around Orlando was the, at the time, plague of I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a type of vehicular con where basically a vehicle pulls out in front of you and another vehicle pulls up behind you, and the one in front of you stops really fast. Well, yeah, so that happened to one of our cars when they went down there, and
Bike Week is awful.
what's it called?
Bike Week.
Bike Week? I don't know that.
It's a whole week.
Oh,
It's a bikers convention out in Daytona that spreads from Daytona to Tampa. And I'm not kidding about that. It's a literal infestation. I thought I was being smart by taking during Bike Week going down to the Tampa Vampire game because it was on the other side of the state. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I was fooling myself. It seemed like there were more of them over there than there were in Orlando.
that's saying something.
Orlando's
Because there were they had to
geographically
break
a
up the
lot
vampire
closer to
game in
Daytona.
Orlando at one point, right? Because there were like 175 people, and they had to split into like 3 games.
The Orlando game?
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was, this was One World by Night forever ago. That was a really good vampire game. That was when I played my Facebook namesake, Bishop Savant, a Malkavian who was pretty much a misomaniac.
Keep right.
Like a completely disassociated misomaniac.
I don't know what that is.
A
I don't know
misomaniac
only,
is essentially somebody who uncontrollably feels only one emotion, and is hatred.
Only feels one emotion and it's hatred, or that yours was
No.
hatred?
Oh, you feel only one. You basically feel only hatred, varying degrees.
That seems very tiring.
Yeah, it is very tiring. But he was also desensitization. So he was basically desensitization is a Malkavian specific derangement. What it amounts to is that his nervous system just does not respond to pain. He has no real survival instinct. So he's like one of those guys who, like, you just walk into the fire to go pick something up and walk back out, kind of thing. He wasn't
Fire
stupid by
as a vampire. That seems.
as a vampire. So it had its upside.
I suppose that's an upside.
Upside was I was not as prone to rush wreck.
Oh
Downside
shit.
was I was not as prone to rush wreck.
Yeah, that. I mean, I could see how that could be both a positive and negative.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I had oracular ability as well with this character. It was so fun to play him because I would just kind of wander through places, and he was a little bit of a gun nut.
Damn it.
He was a complete monster that was just barely able to hold on to even attempting to resemble me.
Keep left.
And so, the second or third Tampa game that I had played him, I had a huge leave of absence, and then I came back and I had to reintroduce myself to the Prince after a year of online play. So, to be fair, this character never had very many experience points on it. But through online play that got sanctioned through all the storytellers involved, they thought it was kind of funny because I explained to them how I carried all this shit on me because it was in piles of like razor blades and sharpened spoons and like I had 13 guns.
Okay.
I had about 115 knives on me at all times. Seriously, I had like during the strip search that went on because they're like, "Do you have any weapons on you?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I just didn't care. Like he was just everybody kind of expected him to be kind of a nutbag, so he took advantage of it. He wasn't stupid; he just took advantage of it.
Keep left.
And so the grand derobing. This scene lasted 2 hours as they systematically searched every piece of clothing I had and then ran metal detectors to push razors out of my to find razors to then push out of my skin. And I still managed to get a shotgun in there.
Where did you get a shotgun in there? How did you
They
get in
failed
your
the
abdomen?
check. I don't know, but they failed the check. And it wasn't just any shotgun. It was the vampire killer. It's the Bam You're Dead gun. Now, what I mean by the Bam You're Dead gun is this. It was a double-barreled Gil Smith & Wesson double-barreled sawed-off shotgun with a short grip. One had a specially created magnesium flare that was filled with, instead of like, it was about half magnesium, the other half was thermite. So take 2 aggravated and call me in the next round when you take 2 more, and just keeps burning.
Right.
The other barrel, had a stake.
I'm having a wreck.
Don't do that; it's bad for you. So I somehow magically got the most dangerous weapon in my arsenal into the prince's office, and this Asimite, who is this prince's right-hand man, heard my name and had known about me. I had like 80 experience points on the books. I spent like 15 of it. I was just not interested in progressing the character past getting the level 4 obfuscate that I wanted, because I just did not care. That's just how I was. I was more of an influence character.
I mean, that does happen a lot in online games where you just
by the way.
get all the experience points.
Well, yeah, like, I could have been really horribly terrible. But, like, some of that XP was spent on, like, level 1 celerity. So I'm walking in there with the most dangerous weapon in my arsenal. I have alacrity. The Asimite recognizes me and gets this kind of sheet white look on his face. Like, he recognized the name. So, like, the Asimite's sitting there kind of being chill. And the prince had said something, and I had responded really poorly to it, and ended up pulling the shotgun and putting it in the prince's face before the Asimite could react. And then I said some smart-ass remark like, "You really have got to improve your security," and then I put the gun back into my clothing and proceeded to go through the rest of the conversation with the prince. The Asimite was shaking in his boots because he thought I was way more powerful than I was.
Right.
So I got out of there.
I had an encounter with someone who I thought at the time was way more powerful than they were, and everything after that point would have been way different if I just called their bluff, and I feel really bad about not doing it. But go on.
So I got out of there, and there was a screaming match between that Asimite and the prince, because this is one of those weird points in plot where the Asimite anti-tribute thing, where there was like the Camarilla-ish Asimites that were popping up in 3rd edition. It's like semi-Camarilla Asimite. And he's playing sheriff, but it's whatever. It's Obi-Wan. Who cares? And there was a screaming match between him and the prince, and I am not sticking my neck out for you in front of that monster. I hear this through the door on my own actual hearing. And a few minutes later, like, the prince comes out of there in a huff, and I'm just kind of sitting in the hallway waiting for my primogen. Because I'm just sitting there. And the Asimite just kind of walks out. He just looks at me and keeps going. And I go, and I raise my hand and I do the out of character symbol. Like, what was that about? Asimite's like, dude, how did you not just annihilate everybody in that room? And I just looked, I just shook my head. I'm like, didn't feel like it. But he went into the details, like, because there was a lot of muttered stuff too. And he's like, dude, he had no idea how old your character is. He's like a fresh prince. He's like only been around for like 9 months.
Oh, so
Your character's
oh,
like
that's why he had to
ages
reintroduce, because it wasn't even the same prince as the last year.
Right.
Ah. It's one of those things that gets complicated
Yeah,
by
I'm
having
separated
players
by,
in those
like, 4
positions when you're supposed to
princes or
hold them for
crazy
like
shit like that.
decades.
Yeah. But I'm separated by like 4 princes in cycle in Obi-Wan. So they're like this character. I had been around. He was like 7 years old at the end point. But I think at this point I was at like 3 years old, and I was only limited for online XP games because I only played online with him. And like I said, I hardly spent any points.
Right.
So, like, it was hilarious because this Asimite could have mopped the floor with me and had a glorious weapon on top of it.
So, when we were starting up the beginning of, I guess what would now be the last MES run of Werewolf, I think the one before the current, if a current one is even happening. I kind of hope nobody's LARPing during the worldwide pandemic, but this is America, so they probably are.
At least there's none in Orlando. I can vouch for that myself.
Oh, really? That's a
Yeah,
good
they're
sign.
all playing. They're alternating it, or they're doing it via Discord right now.
And then
Oh,
exit
yeah. I
right.
mean, like you should.
Right.
Like we,
so,
like
yeah,
we
I mean,
could.
there is a game, and when everybody's got
Exit right.
jabbed, then it's gonna go back to LARP. But so
Yeah.
everybody's talking like October.
Yeah, that's potentially wishful thinking, but we'll see.
Turn right.
I am hopeful. The vaccination is getting passed around relatively quickly. Not great, but
I'm
and
just as previously stated somewhere earlier in this stream and also yesterday's stream. I am like, I know firsthand from what I experienced at the tire shop and the Walmart this past week that like people are not masking up and they're under the misunderstanding.
oh yeah,
Wow,
we
way to
gotta
go,
definitely
1950s, dude! What the hell? Get out
yeah,
of
we
my way.
definitely got to keep masks up even after everybody's vaccinated because, yeah, sure, it's 98 or 80% or something effective. Who cares how effective it is? It's not 100%. We got to keep our
Oh.
masks up until everybody's got the jab or all the anti-vaxxers go away.
Oh yeah, no, I've made a
I mean,
personal vow.
And then
If
let's
I go
be
back to doing,
honest.
if I do any LARP stuff going forward, that from now on, if I am feeling ill,
Turn left.
or if I hear that anybody else at game is feeling ill, I'm gonna have one of those masks in the glove compartment. I'm gonna be ready to wear it, like,
Oh hell
because
yeah, I'm
it's-
definitely going to keep a mask on me at all times.
because that's what they've always done in Japan. But like, oh shit, I could have made that. Oh well, missed it.
Right, and the mask, like, the mask does protect you, don't get me wrong, but it's really there to protect others. So if somebody's sick and not wearing a mask, then we need to be looking at them like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, I'm just not one of those people who's gonna like the most I've done is the employee who looked like they were trying to deal with a customer who they just had their mask underneath their nose, and when they were done and like they looked exasperated by the customer, I was just like
Yeah, yeah.
I point out to
that
them
half
that, you know,
masking doesn't work. It
well, it's
defeats
zero
the point. Like,
masking.
you
It's
might
not
as well
over your nose. There's no, you're
Right.
just covering your mouth for no discernible reason.
Right.
Let's see. But
Get ready to turn
oh well, I think I was gonna say it, but like basically I've gotten to my destination at this
Turn
point.
right.
We're gonna see in a few moments if I am at the right place for the final river site.
So I think we
Get
need to
ready
get.
to turn
I think I need to introduce you to my buddy Sam. He's been playing
Turn
MTG
left.
Arena online, so and he does have a Twitch account. I'd like to start cycling him and get him involved with what we're doing. Also,
Well, you can give him a link to the Discord.
absolutely, thank you very much.
Well, I mean,
But
it's public Discord, but also I just realized that my chat isn't at the bottom. Damn it. I've got... Kamikawa, have you heard of this one before? I've not heard of this problem that. So I've mentioned it a couple of times, but in American Truck Simulator, what will happen is when you do mouse stuff on the game screen, because I have two screens, the mouse
Turn right.
buttons, I guess,
Here we are.
will escape
Inside.
to the second screen. So it's like I'm interacting on both screens, but they're not like legitimately mirrored screens. But like if I try and scroll wheel in the game to go through stuff, it'll start rolling my chat window and everything. Let's try for the more difficult part real quick. And it does it randomly, so it's not even consistent. So I don't know what to make of it because, or exactly how to like cause it / avoid it. It happens pretty frequently, and it's really annoying. But like, it's not like you see the
wow.
mouse on. Oops. It's not like you see the mouse on the other screen.
wow, I just made $3,000 on the auction block. Nice.
Oh. See,
Like gold, I've mostly recovered what I've spent of my fortune. Fortune being about 450,000 gold pieces account-wide.
oh, well.
Nothing compared to my friends.
My favorite-
who are like,
my
oh,
favorite
my
game-
gold cap.
My favorite game in World of Warcraft was playing the auction house.
It is still a thriving environment to do so, because now there's like multi-shard realms. So there's like, you'll get people from Area 52 and Halmarouche and Ragnaros, like 4 or 5 of those servers, and you all get shared auction blocks and huge booming economy.
Oh snap! Did I do it?
But money is also much closer to meaningless because of the derps with Warlords of Draenor. What they did is, back in WoD, they introduced the WoW token system, which sold
I
for
remember
a
that,
standard
yeah,
rate. Yeah, so what the gold farmers would do is they would
I
just
almost got that
basically
on the
pay for
first try. I'm so mad. I almost first tried that hard part.
They would get their accounts for free, but at the same time there were also people, and how they were basically getting their accounts for free because people would pay them to run them through stuff because mythics were a thing. So, yay gold farmers, causing the economy to suffer like macro scale inflation, kind of ridiculous.
Right,
So the best mount in the game, or well, arguably the best, the most useful mount in the game, I guess you could say, is the Brontos. I can't even remember what it's really called. We call it the Long Boy. It's basically a Brontosaurus with an auction house on its back.
It's a what?
Brontosaurus
Mm-hmm.
with an auction house.
Weird.
It's awesome though. Like I said, we call it the Long Boy. It is beautiful mount too. That's just really well, highly detailed, very well done. But it's got 2 different vendors on there. One is like a repair with a trade good vendor, like you can buy food and stuff like that, and then the other is of course the auction. So that, and there's like mobile banking features now, so that's really nice, especially if you're an engineer.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Love it. Because I am an engineer. My Death Knight has Jeeps. I'm so proud of that little robot. Such a hard farm. Totally worth it.
What the hell?
Like, you guys probably don't understand why, though. I gamed with an irresponsible hunter. He's irresponsible because he was always drunk, but My buddy Garrett. I don't know if you might have talked to Garrett before. Fat Lantern over in my Discord.
It's not coming to mind.
Maybe Creel.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I haven't been active in your Discord in a while.
No, it's all good.
So anybody who is watching later on YouTube, if you want to go on to the next video, all I'm doing right now is I'm going to go see if this, rolling up to this next location, gets me
Turn left.
the Colorado River site that I'm missing,
Turn right.
so that I can get one of the last achievements. And we'll see if that happens.
Get ready to turn
Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way for me to record my Steam achievements on screen right now because I'm not actually screen capturing. I'm
Turn
capturing
left.
the game directly, so it's not getting the Steam interface. But we'll see. Continue, Carl?
Get ready to turn left.
I forgot where I was at.
Auction house, gold, dude in your chat.
Oh, Garrett.
Turn left.
Oh yeah, Jeeves. That was the original conversation piece. So he was really irresponsible hunter and never repaired his stuff.
Okay, that does
Mostly
seem very
because-
irresponsible.
He never repaired his stuff. So I ended up getting Jeeves to resolve that. I farmed for a week to resolve an issue with my PvP partner. Because
Mm-hmm.
more than once he walked into the arena in like red repair state gear, which means it's no longer affecting your stats. And he would just
Right.
get raffle stomped.
How is he playing the game?
So when his gear was in full repair, and if he was anywhere, he didn't have to be completely sober for this. Like, it was actually better if he was kind of like 4 or 5 beers in, because if he
Mhm.
played like trash when he's completely sober, and then there was like this spot on the other side of the spectrum where he couldn't find the
Turn
keyboard
left.
anymore to play. So we try to kind of keep him coasting in the middle via distraction, because every time they would talk about going and getting a beer, we'd be like, hang on a second, hold on, do this real quick, and we'd stall him for like another 10 to 15 minutes to get him talking about something. Because he's, 5-6 beers in.
Right. Sounds like the threshold of tiredness versus typos.
Right, it's exactly that.
Like I have a threshold where I start making typos. I have a threshold after that one where I start instead of typos, I start using the wrong words. And then I have a threshold after that in which I begin typoing
Turn left.
the wrong words. Which is very hard to
It's
read.
going to turn into raw gibberish.
Well, it's like
Skiblifix.
it's what it sounds like, right? It sounds so instead of saying car, I might be like bunny. Like I don't know, I was thinking about something else and I wrote the wrong word, but it'd be
And
like
no typo bunny.
it'd be like
Pseudoaphasia.
it'd be like B-U-N-N B-U-N-Y or something, and you'd be like bunny. Wait, what about the what? Like, because you'd be trying to figure out the context, and even I would go back and either in that moment or in the logs, I'd be staring at the screen going, what? A lot of that is alleviated now because Discord lets you edit your messages, but... Alright, hold on. Colorado River, is this it? Colorado River, do you ding? I can't see you at night, but I can see you at night. Let's see. I'm driving over you. I'm haunting you.
Fallon here. I'm 3. Basically, I'm like 1 Old War 25 run away from having Valkyrie.
Hey, Powell's Trail! I did it! That's it!
Right.
One achievement remains.
Exit right.
Might as well go get it right now. I wish people could see that I got that achievement,
Exit right.
but...
I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go push down. Old
You gonna
War.
go push down on what?
Get ready
Old War.
to turn
I'm
left.
I'm basically 1 Old War 25 man run away from having a legendary weapon from Wrath of Lich King.
Turn left.
My other legendary weapon from Wrath of Lich King.
Neat.
I farmed.
thought you didn't like to farm.
I don't know why I can do it with this. I don't know, like, I can't do quest farming, but I can do, like, raid farming, and if I am on my druid or on my shaman because of Ghost Wolf form, I am able to, like, go to South Barrens and just start at one side of the Barrens and scour the entire place for everything that moves and skin it, just, like, zombified out. I don't know why I can do this. It's the only place I can do it, other than in the southern portions of the salt flats, which now is no longer relevant because they changed it in Cataclysm and filled the area with water.
Yeah, I remember that. Good call. That area sucked.
Yeah, Thousand Needles is the zone.
Thousand Needles, yes.
But the southern portion of the salt or Shimmering Flats is the area. It's the salt flats. There was this area of like broken up, with like kind of like just abandoned goblin terrain stuff, and there's like polluted puddles of water and basilisks for as far as the eye could see. And because I could chain kill them as fast as I could, I would be able to scrape up, and it didn't matter what expansion pack I was doing. It could be classic, BC, Wrath of the Lich King. The way that the skills worked, it was a needed item, but it was for thick leather, heavy and thick leather. And I would go in there and I would just demolish this entire area. World's worst druid.
Excuse me, Carl. People on stream might be noticing these are some really interesting paint jobs I can have now, including Xenomorph.
Xenomorph. I want Xenomorph.
Alright, we're gonna do Xenomorph. Let's see if that counts as a custom paint job. Did that count? I didn't see a ding. Alright, I'm gonna have to go look up the one remaining achievement. Buy and apply a custom paint job. Was that not it? Buy and apply... Okay, go on. I'm trying to figure this out. Buy and apply... Well, actually, I'll look it up on True Steam Achievements, which I recommend everyone use. Let's see here.
Alright, off to Dalaran.
Trying to fit all this into the end. Alright, so let's see here. But there's not... Okay, apparently it's one of those that's so straightforward there's not even a guide for it. So I'm like, well, what part of it did I just not do just now? Buy and apply. Wait, did I not? Wait, I'm sorry. Confirm order.
Okay, let's find.
No, I did that. I thought I already did it earlier when I got myself a custom color. Hold on. Is it custom metallic color? Can I just... Okay. Where is this? Oh, that's...
Oh, Ulduar.
What?
Do what now?
I don't know.
You know, with as much as I'm in these dungeons, I should know the lore, but I gotta be real. If it wasn't involving Arthas, and if it wasn't involving Illidan, I didn't pay attention. And that means all of Ulduar and all of AQ were lost on me. I don't know. I'm just like, whatever, some old gods. Call of Cthulhu, I gotcha, it's okay. I read that plot, thanks.
Oh, they meant literally the metallic custom paint job. There we go, everybody. I did it. We now have all of the achievements in baseline American Truck Simulator. We did it.
Congratulations.
So everything from here is icing on the cake until all of the DLCs go on sale again. And if they're all in a giant bundle for like, you could buy all the states for $20, I'm going to be like, I mean, I got government money. Sure. But otherwise, this has been American Truck Simulator, presented by Improvision Entertainment. I have been Hunterman.
I've been Warboss Skarsog.
And Mao may be fighting something.
And Mal is fighting something.
I'm Mal over here. I keep forgetting what I have, and when I do not have the microphone muted.
Oh, yes, that would keep happening. Well, and we will
Push to talk isn't reflexive for you yet.
see you in the future.